Steve Peters, quickly becoming one of my favorite people to talk to in the hockey world. Former Arizona Coyotes video coach, now works as a producer with ESPN. And you can find his analysis on Inside the Coach's Room. We threw the link to your YouTube in our chat here, PD, so people can subscribe. But thanks for giving us some time today. How you doing?
I appreciate it, but first I have to say a sincere honor to be on air with Frank. It's been a long time. We had Frank on our show back in PHNX a couple of times when the Arizona Coyotes were leaving town. It was a very sad time in Arizona, and we weren't real friendly with Frank because Frank broke the news. So I apologize, Frank. It wasn't your fault. You didn't move the team.
Yeah, no, I
didn't. But it's great to talk playoffs.
Yeah, always good to talk to you, Steve. And your insight has been impeccable. I've been following along.
Let's kick things off with the Carolina Hurricanes punching their ticket to round 3. Petey, listen, all this talk, are they boring? Can they score enough? I mean, they're winning games and they're getting through series really quickly. I guess what's at the top of the list when it comes to, what's allowed them to move through these 2 rounds as quick as they have?
It's funny. I took a lot of heat yesterday for saying this team is boring, and I'm talking from a fan perspective. The Carolina Hurricanes are playing the exact style of hockey the Carolina Hurricanes need to play to be successful, and that's being quick on pucks, smother teams in all 3 zones, don't allowing the opponent's top offensive players be top offensive players. They don't give you any time and space. They're good sticks. They pin you against the wall. This is a team that's incredibly difficult to play against. They are the most difficult team to play against left in the playoffs. The problem is, can they score at a pace that they're scoring at now? Can Svechnikov be able to continue this pace he has at offensively? Because right now, defensively, this team on all metrics is phenomenal. And I think that's when you look at the Washington Capitals, and I just heard Frank talking about the season they had and the players that they had playing extremely well. They weren't extremely good in the playoffs. And Alexei Protas being injured to start this playoffs out, I think hurt them. And Alex Ovechkin is dominating he is in the regular season as a playoff player. And this isn't a knock on Alex Ovechkin because he's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But it's a 200-foot game in the playoffs. And it's a different game in the playoffs. And I'm not sure he was all in defensively in this regular season and in the playoffs. And I think that hurt Washington. But Carolina is going to be a tough out for anybody as this playoff goes on.
So there was this big back and forth, and I didn't necessarily understand it, Steve, about, hey, the Carolina Hurricanes, they're just shot volume merchants. They just throw 1 million pucks on net from anywhere. It doesn't matter. All analytics driven, and that's the reason for their success. Look at how they've done. And I'm going, well, it seems to be working out quite fine for them. I don't necessarily buy into the narrative. Where do you come out on it? I agree with Rod Brindamore that it's kind of lazy.
Yeah, it is. And I agree they're a shot volume team. If you're scouting this team and you're an opponent, the coaching staff, you try to limit their shots. And what they do is they win those battles low in the zone, below the goal line. They get the pucks low to high and they get to the net. But the key to their success offensively is everybody knows it's going there. And you'll see 3 forwards attacking that blue paint, and they make those scrums in the blue paint. So the key to beating them in that game, the shot volume game, is to be able to box out and get under sticks. But it's hard. It's hard to do that because that physical space in front of the opposing goaltender is the prime real estate in this series. And anytime you play Carolina. So yes, they are not as exciting offensively because they don't have that they don't have Connor McDavid. They don't have that high end guy. I know Svechnikov's putting up the numbers right now, but they don't do it by 1 or 2 guys. This is a full team that just does it the same way over and over again. But analytically, yeah, shooting pucks on net, dude, it works. Like, look at this playoffs this season. How many pucks have gone off sticks, legs, off rear ends, and just gone into the net? You've got to get pucks on net, and Carolina literally does it better than anybody right now in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, Henrik Lundqvist on TNT has been calling it the pandemic of goals that have gone in off of shin pads and butts and sticks, like right in front, own goals that have been scored so far these playoffs. It's been a goalie's worst nightmare. Let's talk about a goalie's worst nightmare. That's what these playoffs have been for Connor Hellebuck. And the Winnipeg Jets put forth this textbook effort last night in Game 5 to save their season. Is there any element that you think that they can pull from that game and carry with them? Can they pack it in their suitcase to Dallas in order to be better successful?
Yeah, I think one of the big things that Winnipeg did in this game is their start. And I know they've had better starts at home, and I know their first 5 minutes have been the key at home. But they have to do that on the road. And they've got to find a way to be ready and be prepared when the puck drops at the 20-minute mark against Dallas in Game 6 in Dallas. Because this for 10 minutes of this game against Dallas, they were dominating. They controlled the offensive side of the puck. And you know what they did? They got pucks out of their zone quickly. They were able to get the puck off of the wall and out. And I think one of the keys against Dallas is you got to play simple to get out of your zone. You've got to put pucks off the wall, off the glass, get it out to the neutral zone. Because look at the number of odd man rushes that Winnipeg was able to get against the Dallas Stars. Their offensive opportunities weren't just generated off the power play; they were generated off of 5-on-5 off the rush. And I think they were able to exploit Dallas trying to hold the pucks in at the blue line and getting behind that defense for foot races. I think Winnipeg's going to have to advance the puck zone by zone, just get the puck moving forward, and try again to get in behind Dallas's zone. But the key is going to be to do it early. They can't fall behind against the Dallas Stars. And I think when you see Hellebuck having his best games, it's when he's dialed in early. And you saw that yesterday. He was sharp yesterday. Like, he looked like the Connor Hellebuck you're used to seeing games 1 through 82. And I know it's been a roller coaster for him, but if he can do that early in the first 10 minutes, if they can be even or better after the first 10 minutes, I think Winnipeg can win this one in game 6.
I don't want to let you go without asking you a little bit about the Edmonton Oilers. They punched their ticket to the conference final, third time in 4 years. When you look at the Oilers against Dallas or Winnipeg, is there one of those two that you think they match up better against?
Yeah, I think, and people aren't going to like this, I think they match up better against Dallas. And right now, the Edmonton Oilers are the best team in the Western Conference. I cannot believe I'm saying that, Tyler. This is something I've picked against the Edmonton Oilers in the last 6 series, and I'm not kidding. I've said they're going to beat. Now, this is the best Edmonton Oilers have played in the last year and a half in the playoffs. They're defending better than they have. They're protecting the house better than they have. They're eliminating the opponent's rush better than they have through the neutral zone. This Edmonton Oilers team is no longer just Draisaitl and McDavid. This is a full team effort from 200 feet. This is an impressive team. And I did say that they're going to have to get back to Skinner, and they did. And he's been just okay. Man, Skinner's been lights out. Skinner's been the guy that they saw in the finals a year ago, and they needed that to happen. No offense to Calvin Pickard, but they needed Skinner if they want to get to the next level. I think this team right now, their way they can move the puck up the ice quickly, but more importantly, the way they're defending as a group of 5 in front of their goaltender makes them an incredibly dangerous team. Balanced scoring like they haven't seen before. You've got 4 lines they can roll out in any situation. This Edmonton Oilers team is for real, and I think they're going to be a threat to either team. The Winnipeg Jets, I think, may give them their hands full, and partly because of Hellebuck, but I think it is going to be Dallas, Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals.
Steve, can't let you go without asking you at least one question about Arizona.
Sure.
Gary Bettman this week, Sports Business Journal, he's up for Executive of the Year, and one of the reasons for that is the move from Phoenix to Salt Lake City in Utah. But I made my prediction before, and I'll stand by it, that I think we see hockey back in the Valley of the Sun in 5 years. What's the latest? What's percolating in Phoenix?
Yeah, and I think you're right. And first of all, I want to say this: the move to Salt Lake City, from everybody that has worked in the organization here from Phoenix to Salt Lake City, kudos to Ryan Smith and what he's done for the players, the staff, and the fan base there in Salt Lake City. He is the owner that they've always needed here in Arizona. They just weren't able to get. And I think that's what's going to happen here in Arizona. Yeah, the business community is buzzing. There's more going on behind the scenes. And I know you know this, Frank. There's more talk and more discussions going on than people may be aware of. And I'm with Frank. I think they're playing hockey here by 2030 at the latest back in Arizona. It's closer than people think. And I also think you're going to hear something by a year next fall. So 14 months, I think you're going to hear rumblings. You're not going to hear an announcement, but you're going to hear real rumblings. I believe in hockey in the desert, Frank, and I think it's coming back.
Me too.
Steve, appreciate your time. Inside the Coach's Room is your YouTube if people want more of your analysis. Appreciate you popping on.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks for giving me a voice. Have a happy playoffs and go Edmonton, Tyler.
What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Seravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.